right, so welcome on this edition of the program Spotlight Niger, reaching from Fly 104.9 FM, Erijin Ekiti. It's a pleasure to be back behind the microphone this beautiful Monday evening. This is the go-getter, Kozim Oladapo. Saying good evening to you. Lace up your boots, put on your sports kit and get ready to play with me as we do it together just for the fun of the game. Wonderful evening to you one more time. Yes, tonight is the night for Arsenal Football Club of England to boost their opportunities, their chances to win the English Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. Because tonight they will be locking arms against their opponents. Alright, this is Erijin Ekiti. That's a town in Ekameta LCDA, and definitely you will recall that this is Ekiti State, the land of honor. I must tell you that something huge, something big is happening very soon in this community. Oh yes, with the permission of the great people of Region Ekiti, especially the special advisor to the governor on political matters. I'm talking about I Chief Jide Awe. I must tell you that something huge is going to come up involving the boys and girls in Kameta LCDA, including Region, Ipole and Ikogosi. Wow, you know very well that this is the local government where the governor of Ekiti State hailed from. I'm talking about Governor Biodun Abayomi. And girls from this local government to Ado Ekiti. Wow, if you have not been to the Oluyemi Stadium before, wow, you need to be there to see what the governor has turned, how the governor has turned around the state of football and sport in its entirety in Ekiti State. So, God willing, on Children's Day, May 27, that's on Wednesday next week, God willing, we'll be taking the boys and girls from the secondary schools in Kameta LCDA to Ado Ekiti to enjoy the AstroTurf soccer pitch, the first of its kind in the history of Ekiti State and one of the best in this country, Nigeria. It will be the first time, I want to say that it will be the first time that any or perhaps many of the young footballers in Kameta LCDA will be playing on the soccer AstroTurf, and it will be the first time that the girls will be running on tartan track. And these are the two things that will be playing out on that Children's Day, a special way to celebrate the children on Children's Day. Yes, with the approval secured courtesy of I Chief Jide Awe, I must tell you that the children of Kameta LCDA will be taken to Ado Ekiti, the Oluyemi Stadium in Ado Ekiti, for a day event, sports event, with the support of the local government chairman, Dr. Adeleye, and of course, Honorable Bewaji, and a host of others who have also shown support. We say this is going to be massive. We must shake the world. Wow, it's also interesting to know that there are so many individuals in these communities, that's in Region Ekiti, Ipole and Ikogosi, who have played football to the peak. Wow, they are now old. Many of them are grandfathers. Many of them are great-grandfathers and grandmothers. Many of them are very old, but then back in the 70s, back in the 60s, many of them back in the 80s, they played football, and some of them took part in athletics for their schools and for these three communities when they were playing as boys, but now they are grandfathers. Wow, it's interesting to know that many of them are still really passionate about sports in this community, and that is why we have to say thank you for the privilege that Fly FM 104.9 FM has to project, promote, expose, and encourage sports from the grassroots. And we also spotlight some of the outstanding retired sportsmen and women in Region Ekiti, Ikogosi Ekiti, and Ipole Ekiti. Well, a time is coming very soon that we'll be entertaining all of the heroes and heroines in the sporting world in these communities. And of course, don't forget that just recently I spoke with 70-year-old Chief Taiwo Odebumi from Aramoko Ekiti. That's in the same local government. That's in Ekiti West local government. I spoke with him over the weekend, and he just clocked 70 years alongside his twin brother Ken Odebumi, and he shared his experiences with us while growing up, that it was through the game of football that they were able to finance their education, that it was football that helped them to be what they are today. So we need to support, encourage, motivate all of these boys and girls who are into sport, who are ready to go into sport. This is definitely what we need to do, and Fly 104.9 FM will not shake in this kind of responsibility. You're still listening and enjoying Sportlite Niger on Fly 104.9 FM, Erijin Ekiti, with the go-getter, Kozim Oladapo. Before we go on to the big thing tonight, I must tell you that you have the opportunity of giving us a call on the show tonight. Tell us about your prediction. Tell us your prediction for tonight's game between Arsenal and Burnley. What's your prediction in tonight's game? Well, tonight, let me quickly begin this one, taking us outside a region, outside Nigeria, and to world or global gymnastics. Reports have it here that the world gymnastics earlier today, Monday, lifted restrictions imposed on Russians and Belarusians competing after the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Meeting on Saturday and Sunday in Sharm el-Sheikh, the executive committee of the body said in a brief press statement that restrictions will be lifted with immediate effect. And with the lifting of ban on Russians and Belarusians gymnasts, that means gymnasts from both nations are free to return to competition under their own flags and with their anthems rather than appearing as neutrals. They can also compete as teams rather than as individuals, and the stipulations that they should not have actively supported the war in Ukraine nor been under contract with the army or security service have been dropped. Now, World Gymnastics Association did not offer any justification for the decision, which is out of line with recent recommendations from the IOC, that's the International Olympic Committee, which earlier this month advised international federations to reinstate Belarusians but not Russians. Yes, the door is now open for Russian and Belarusian gymnasts to qualify for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, America. Judo and swimming have also voted for the full reinstatement of the two countries, while boxing limited itself to following the IOC by lifting only the restrictions on Belarusians. Other organizations like the International Figure Skating Federation and the World Athletics continue to exclude both countries entirely from their competitions. All right, from there now, coming back to talk about Nigerian basketball, David Vizdeal has set out an ambitious blueprint For Nigeria's men's basketball team, the Tigers representing insisting that its objective goes beyond qualification for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles and extends to competing for a medal and ultimately victory at the tournaments. Yes, the newly appointed the Tigers head coach has called for a shift in mentality within the squad, urging players to adopt elite standards comparable to perennial champions, the United States, as Nigeria begins a new rebuild under its leadership. The new coach of Nigeria's basketball male team, Visdeo, made clear that reaching the Olympics alone would not satisfy his ambitions, stressing that the team must aim higher than participation and target victory on the global stage. Yes, the coach further emphasized the need for a long-term disciplined approach rather than short-term targets, insisting that mediocrity at the Olympics would be unacceptable if Nigeria is to progress into an elite basketball nation. The United States have dominated Olympic basketball for decades, winning a record 17 gold medals and securing 5 consecutive titles from Beijing 2008 through the Paris 2024, following their last defeat in the competition in 2004. The new coach of Nigeria's basketball team, known as Visdeo, acknowledged the scale of the challenge but insisted that setting such a benchmark is essential for development, even if immediate success cannot be guaranteed. He also expressed confidence that the current pool of players, including those expected to commit to the program in the coming windows, will not be content with more participation at the Olympics. Now, still talking basketball. Yes, I must tell you. Alright, away from basketball now, talking about AFCON 2027, 3-time champions Nigeria will discover their opponents for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers tomorrow, Tuesday, when the Confederation of African Football, CAF, conducts the draws for the tournament to be jointly hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Yes, the qualifying draws will be held at the headquarters of the Egyptian Football Association in Cairo ahead of the finals, which are scheduled to take place from June 19 to July 17 next year. The tournaments coming up in 2027 will be the first edition in the competition's history to be co-hosted by 3 countries. Nigeria won the tournament in 1980, 1994, and 2013. The Super Eagles also finished runners-up in 2023 and third in 2025. A total of 48 teams, including the 3 co-hosts, will be participating in the qualifiers. According to CAF, the 48 participating countries will be divided into 12 groups of 4 teams, with the top 2 sides in each group qualifying automatically for the finals. Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda have already secured qualification as host countries, while only 1 additional team will qualify from each of their groups. The qualifiers will be played across 3 FIFA international windows between September 2026 and March 2027. Now counting down to the World Cup 2026, Iran's national football team has headed to Turkey to play a final friendly match and apply for visas to fly to the United States for the 2026 World Cup. The team plan to participate in the tournament despite co-host America having launched a war against Iran with a massive wave of attacks alongside ally Israel on February 28. The fighting has been on hold for weeks thanks to a ceasefire, but peace talks have failed to make a breakthrough. And new drone attacks against Gulf countries at the weekend, combined with threats from U.S. President Donald Trump, raising fears of a return to fighting. Yeah, the national team of Iran departed the country this morning for Antalya, Turkey, to play its final friendly match before flying to the United States for the 2026 World Cup. And the reports also have it that the squad consisted of 22 locally based players alongside their coaching staff. On Saturday, head coach of the team, Amir Galinoi, said they would also be completing visa applications for the US while in Turkey. This one is not a surprise anymore because it's been in the news. There have been speculations earlier that the special one of football, Jose Mourinho, is ready to move to Spain to join Real Madrid again. Now it has been confirmed that Jose Mourinho is set for a sensational return to Real Madrid after reportedly reaching a verbal agreement to take over as manager. And the Portuguese coach, widely known as the Special One, is understood to have agreed terms on an initial 2-year deal with the Spanish Giants pending the completion and signing of formal documents. According to reports earlier today, Mourinho is expected to travel to Madrid following Real Madrid's final La Liga fixture against Atletico Bilbao, where final procedural steps will be completed before an official announcement. If confirmed, the move would mark Mourinho's second spell in charge of Real Madrid more than a decade after his first tenure between 2010 and 2013, during which he won La Liga, Copa del Rey and the Spanish Super Cup. While the club has yet to make an official statement, anticipation is already building among supporters over a potential reunion with one of the most high-profile managers in football history. Real Madrid are expected to confirm developments in the coming days once contractual formalities are concluded. Alright, you're still listening to Fly 104.9 FM, Erijin Ekiti, and of course, it's been a wonderful time with you out there listening to this super dial. Well, I'll be back in a short while with more sports stories after now. Don't go away, it's still Fly 104.9 FM with the go-getter, Kozimo Ladapo.
Non-stop vibes. All day, every day. Fly FM 104.9. Music lives here. If it's music you want, you're already here. Right here. Fly FM 104.9.
Oh yes, if it's sports and music you want, if it's entertainment that you want, you are right here on the right track. Fly 104.9 FM, where we serve you nothing but the best when it comes to entertainment and education and information for your listening to live from morning to evening. Wow, the go-getter Cousin Moladapo is rocking the airwaves now on the program Sportlite Niger. Right about now, in the next few minutes, less than 30 minutes from now, it's going to be Arsenal versus Burnley. Well, for those Arsenal fans, especially everyone willing to see how it's going to happen tonight, I must tell you that Gyökeres will be on the bench tonight for the host, as Kai Havertz will be starting. And if Arsenal are able to win tonight, they are 3 points away from winning the title. And Arsenal, the Gunners, could be able to lift the English Premier League title if they on Tuesday, if they could win on Tuesday. And that will be if Manchester City fail to beat Bournemouth. One dangerous guy to look out for in the jersey of Burnley tonight is Zian Fleming, a striker, and of course he has scored 10 goals, 10 out of Burnley's 37 Premier League goals this season, and it will certainly be a handful of threat for Arsenal defender tonight. Burnley have taken just one win from their last 27 league games, and a trip to the Emirates rarely ends well. Burnley have never scored more than once in a Premier League match against Arsenal, and the record in final away games is thin too, with only 2 wins in 9 top flight seasons. Yes, the fight they showed up against Villa suggests that they won't simply fade away. Arsenal, with everything on the line, know that complacency is the one opponent they cannot let in. Yes, after losing 4 games on the spin, Burnley held 4th placed Aston Villa to a draw last time at Turf Moor, and they will need every bit of a grit and determination they have if they are going to take a point tonight. Yes, Burnley had a goalless draw, 2-2 draw, against the opponent, that's Aston Villa in their last game, and yes, that was away from home. Yes, and yes, Burnley were the host team, and it ended 2-2 against Aston Villa. And elsewhere, Burnley were beaten 3-1 before the game against Aston Villa, and they also lost at home 1-0 against Manchester City before now, and by 4-1 they were also beaten. And maybe let me say, out of 5 previous games, they have only recorded only 1 win, only 1 draw. They have lost 4 out of the last 5 matches. So what stops them from losing tonight? Let's wait and see. If If Arsenal win tonight, they will be one match away from the title. They could be confirmed champions tomorrow, where Man City failed to win at Bournemouth. Are you an Arsenal fan? Even if you don't like Arsenal, are you a fan of Arsenal or not? As long as you like football and as long as you are following the English Premier League, do well to give us a call on the number 09034796539. 09034796539 to be part of our show tonight. Now, looking at it, in the last 19 matches, Arsenal have lost just one of their previous 19 Premier League games against Burnley, going down 1-0 at home in December 2020. And Burnley have won just one of their last 27 Premier League games, picking up just 1 point in this run as they did in their first 9 this season. Alright, I look forward to having some calls coming in tonight at 09034796539. 09034796539. Yes, tomorrow another big match will be going down, and that's between Manchester City traveling to Bournemouth. Chelsea will be hosting Tottenham Hotspur. And very, very funny, it will interest you, the league in England, the English Premier League is very funny. Tottenham Hotspur, they will try and avoid a defeat because they are occupying the 17th position after 36 matches. So far, so good. And they must avoid defeat against Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea are not really chasing anything because they are currently on the 10th position with 36 points. With 49 points from 36 matches. Tottenham Hotspur 38 points from 36 matches. Arsenal 79 points from 36 matches. Man City 77 points from 36 matches. And if Arsenal wins, then they'll go on to 82 points. If Man City also win, they'll go on to 80 points. And if Arsenal win their last match, and Man City also win their last match, then the title will be for the Gunners this year for the first time in 22 years. Man United are really satisfied with their third place finish this year. Aston Villa have broken the jinx. They have come in between the big boys, Liverpool, and Liverpool are trailing them, occupying the 5th position behind Aston Villa. Even Bournemouth are ahead, well ahead of Chelsea. Bournemouth 6th position, Brighton 7th position, Brentford 8th position, Sunderland 9th on the log, and Chelsea, almighty Chelsea, occupying the 10th position. That's in the English Premier League. Now, the game decided involving Manchester United and Nottingham Forest at the weekend must have come and gone, but now I must inform you that Manchester United's second goal in Sunday's Premier League win over Nottingham Forest should have been disallowed for handball. This is according to the professional game match officials. Yes, the referee's body contacted Forest on Monday. The referee's body contacted Forest on Monday, that's today, to confirm that there had been a misjudgment by the referee who rejected a video assistant referee review to rule out the goal. The ball came off the arm of United player Brian Mbeumo before the Cameroonian international saw a shot blocked by a defender. Teammate Matthews Cunha moved on to the loose ball and fired a shot past Forest keeper Matt Sells to score. Well, according to the referee who handled the match yesterday, he said the handball was accidental and stuck by his on-field decision of goal. The victory, the 2-1 victory, put Man United up in a game they went on to win 3-2. Now that's funny. The referee's body are saying, well, they are very sorry that was not a good decision taken by the referee, but does that change anything? Can that really change anything? Wow, it is no more news that West Ham United are going to be relegated this season. London taxpayers may have to pay an extra £2.5 million if West Ham are relegated from the Premier League this season because the club's lease agreement for London Stadium. West Ham United are on the 18th position in the table with one match remaining and will be as good as relegated to the Championship if Tottenham Hotspur are 2 points above them with a game in hand and a much better goal difference draw with Chelsea tomorrow. Under the 99-year lease agreement, West Ham United will pay the Greater London Authority about half their current annual rent of £4.4 million if they are relegated. London taxpayers who currently contribute to stadium operating costs such as stewarding will have to take up the funding gap. Now, talking about club football in France, yes, the finalists, UEFA Champions League finalists, PSG, the striker Ousmane Dembele will receive treatment over the next few days for a muscle strain in his right calf. This is according to PSG. The Ballon d'Or winner was taken off and replaced with striker Goncalo Ramos in the first half of the French champions 2-1 defeat by Paris FC on the final day of the Ligue 1 over the weekend. Head coach Luis Enrique initially suggested he thought Dembele's substitution was required because of fatigue, but in a statement released earlier today, Monday, the club revealed it had been necessary as a precautionary measure. Defending champions PSG face Premier League leaders Arsenal in the final of the Champions League on May 30, and Dembele has also made the 26-man France squad for the World Cup, which starts on June 11. Dembele was named the Ligue 1 Player of the Year for the second season in a row last week, despite his struggles with injuries in the first half of the campaign. He has scored 10 goals in 22 league appearances, providing 7 assists. The Frenchman has also scored 7 goals in the Champions League this season, including goals in each leg of the semi-final against Bayern Munich. Now from Dembele, who has been included in the French national team for the World Cup, now Croatia is also another country that will be at the World Cup. At the age of 40, now can you imagine somebody like Luka Modric still playing? Now he has been included in the World Cup squad for Croatia. Veteran midfielder Luka Modric has been named in Croatia's squad for the World Cup and is expected to recover from a fractured cheekbone in time for the tournament. At the age of 40, the 40-year-old Inter Milan playmaker suffered the injury following a clash of heads in the match against Juventus at the end of April. Yes, Modric, who won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, has since undergone surgery but has been named in Croatia's 26-man squad. Former Real Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur player Modric played a key role in Croatia's run to the World Cup final in 2018 and semi-final in 2022 and will be playing in his 5th World Cup. Former Real Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur player Modric played a key role in Croatia's run to the World Cup final in 2018 and semi-final in 2022 and will be playing in his 5th World Cup. Manchester City defender Joska Viadol was also included in Croatia's party despite suffering a broken shin in January. Alright, I'm afraid I'm about to wrap up the show, and of course I'll be glad to have some calls tonight on the program. Sportlite Niger on Fly 104.9 FM, Erijin Ekiti. Yes, my time is up on the program tonight. I have to say a big thank you to everyone listening out there. Now, just less than 5 minutes to the game between Arsenal and Burnley later tonight. And I'm sure all soccer fans are out there ready to watch that game. Time will not really permit me to go on and on and on, but I have to say big thank you to all of you out there who have been around to identify with Sportlite Niger on Fly 104.9 FM, Erijin Ekiti. Alright, the last one I'll be taking this evening is a very unfortunate story about a footballer who was attacked in England. Yes, he was attacked in England on November 1 last year, and he says he was stabbed 7 times. As a footballer, he actually gives account of what happened in that encounter.
Just telling people, there's a guy with a knife, run, been stabbed, run. I think I was the first person that got stabbed. So as I got down the first carriage or the second carriage, I pulled the alarm and I was just drenched with blood.
How many blows did...
Till this day, I can't believe it that I've been stabbed 7 times. What happened to me? Nearly lost my life. Really lucky and grateful for that, that I'm alive now. So main thing is just pushing every day.
Tonight.
Alright, that's talking about that player who goes by the name Jonathan Gaucher, and he was stabbed 7 times by unknown attackers, assailants who attacked him and on November 1, and just weeks into his first season at Scunthorpe United, the 23-year-old has been traveling from Doncaster back to his home in London, but an hour into the journey, the unimaginable happened. But yes, you heard him. He just said, thank God he's still alive till today. May God's protection and be with all of us, and his love and mercy will continue to abound with us and abide with us. All right, this is the destination point on today's edition of the program, Sportlite Niger on Fly 104.9 FM. Till tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I'll be glad to have you join me then. I am the go-getter, Kozim Oladapo, saying, try and be good to those you meet on your way up, because you might need them on your way down. There's no harm in doing good. Try and be good all the time. Bye-bye. I'm out of here.